We're going to light the furnace now. I do this with a piece of burning newspaper. I'll just introduce the gas. This is the gas burning on its own, no air. Via a 12 volt transformer, I'm going to introduce the air through the fan, and so that's the gas and air mix. We'll let that warm up a little before we introduce just a little bit more gas and a little bit more air. Just a little bit more gas. We'll introduce a little bit more air. You'll see the flame swirling around the pot. Looking for a nice blue flame. Too much gas and you'll have unburnt gas coming out the top of the furnace. Too little gas, you'll be having a popping and a banging noise. The gas air mix, like most sort of burning of fuels, is quite important. That'll take about 30 minutes now to melt. I'll have to be introducing more aluminium as it starts to melt. So we'll come back to it in a little while when it's melted a bit more. The furnace has been running now for about 15 minutes and things are starting to melt nicely. As you can see, I'm preheating some of the scrap metal on top of the furnace. Very important that you don't introduce any moisture into the molten metal. That would be fatal. That would. Water into the molten metal produces a lot of steam, flash steam, and the likelihood of the metal jumping out the pot is considerable. So what I'm doing is I'm warming it up, get rid of all the moisture. It gets rid of some of the thermal shock that you can get if you put a large lump of cold metal into a molten pot. Doesn't happen so much with the stainless pot, but if you was to do it with, say, a clay graphite pot or a silicon carbide pot, you could crack it maybe. So we're warming it up, and we'll see how we get on from here. I normally drop the scrap metal through the hole in the top of the furnace, but it gives you some idea of how things are melting. Safety gear on. You notice I've weighted the boxes down with lead filled steel weights. I shall be opening the furnace in a minute. I'm preheating the tools, and I shall be introducing some Nucalin 2000 and EcoGas degasser to the aluminium. I'll be putting my helmet on now, gloves on, ready to pour. Now comes the exciting time of removing the casting from the moulding box. There you see the facing sand that we used. A few taps with an hammer just to remove the loose sand. A little rub with a wire brush. Not too bad. Now we have one casting in alley.